Good afternoon, Lakers Nation. This is Steven back at you with a video. Today is game day. Lakers versus who? Not the Clippers, the Denver Nuggets. Did everybody see that choke job? 3 games in a row, up double digits, and the Clippers choked it away. All that for nothing, right? All that championship talk and they're the better team, the deeper team, just to get beat by the Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets are definitely they're a good team. We shouldn't take them lightly, but they aren't the Clippers. Clippers, they were built to, let's say, beat the Lakers, right? With all their defense on the perimeter, the big perimeter wings to stop LeBron James. Well, now look at them. They're out of the bubble and probably in Cancun or something. All right, so we're gonna preview the Lakers versus Denver Nuggets today, and at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We shouldn't take them lightly, and I have a feeling the Lakers, anyways, they've been coming out flat. Having the first game of each series, having lost against the Portland Trailblazers the first game, as well as the Houston Rockets. But I have a feeling that today's going to be a different outcome, not only because I saw, versus the Clippers, Denver Nuggets versus the Clippers game 1, having gone through a 7-game series previously, the Nuggets, they were gassed in the first game. However, it's different this time because they had an extra day of rest. But I have a feeling they might, after going through another 7-game series, they might be gassed again. But we'll see. And the good thing is, first game for the Lakers and LeBron James, it's typically a feel-out game. They make adjustments after the first game, depending on how they play versus the Lakers and all that. So I feel like maybe today won't be a dominant performance as it will be later on. But I believe we'll still sneak by and get that W today. And my prediction, I believe, being unbiased and all, I think Lakers in 5. I feel like Denver should be respected. They will get 1 game, but Anthony Davis, number 2, I believe, in Defensive Player of the Year. I believe he got snubbed, but it's all good. His matchup versus Nikola Jokic, nobody can lock us. No, they're not gonna lock him down, but they can really minimize his impact. Like the previous games that AD was guarding Nikola Jokic, they really minimized his impact. I feel like they're gonna go big today and start JaVale McGee as they usually do. So go back to the regular lineups, but I feel like JaVale McGee is probably not the best matchup for Nikola Jokic. And Nikola Jokic, I feel like, will, do pretty well against JaVale. Because JaVale, is kind of light in the back pocket. He struggles post defending. He's good. He's lengthy, good at blocks and all. But Nikola is a big guy. He's gonna post him up, and I feel like he's gonna have an impact at the beginning of the game. And then once we get maybe Dwight Howard in the second quarter, and then go small with AD, then that's when we'll start. Our defense will be a little better. Plus, we gotta be careful with the pick and roll with Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. That will be deadly because our big, they like to stay back, giving that mid-range jumper to the point guard, so Jamal Murray. And I feel like our defensive scheme against good point guards. So we've gone against Damian Lillard, James Harden. They were doubling him, right? The thing is, so Houston didn't have any bigs. They all had perimeter defenders, so we had to worry about having them shoot. But if you double James Harden and make somebody else make that decision, so playmaking, because let's say Robert Covington, I'd rather have him make a play than James Harden, right? He's not gonna make the best basketball play. However, Nikola Jokic, he's comfortable in that position. If you're gonna double Jamal Murray, so he doesn't go off like he did in Game 7, and he has been doing pretty well in the playoffs. Especially that first series against Utah, getting 50 points and all. I feel like our defense will do pretty well against Murray, but if we double and leave Nikola Jokic open, or let's say have him be a playmaker, he's relatively comfortable playmaking. So that is something I'd be worried about. And I, for some reason, want to go small against them with AD at the 5 anyways, not small with Morris at the 5 or anything, because I feel like AD can guard Jokic and have that versatility on defense against that pick and roll. But I feel like Frank Vogel is going to go with his large lineup and then make adjustments from there. For some reason, I feel like we should start Dwight Howard, but it's not going to happen. They like to start JaVale McGee, and so we'll go from there and see how that goes game one. Nothing's been announced. Frank Vogel likes to keep his starting lineup, concealed until like half an hour before the game starts. So I guess we'll find out then to see what the starting lineup is. But so we'll see, and then we'll make adjustments from there. But we're talking about game one here, not this whole series. Game one. Well, the whole series, yeah. Like I said, in 5, we'll make adjustments and all. And then what Denver really had in the regular season, without this bubble situation, they had a great home court advantage with being in Denver and all, and the elevation, and they don't have that now. So these home and road games, they really don't matter. These sound effects, I don't think they really do much for the players and all. But that's a non-factor. But the thing is, Denver, they may have some defenders, but they don't have a lockdown defender. So they don't have anybody who can really take on LeBron James. I think they might put Grant on him. Millsap's a little too old at this point, 35 years old, to be taking on LeBron James, even though LeBron's 35. He is not as fast as he used to be. So they'll probably be putting Grant on him. And I feel like LeBron's still going to do his thing, coming out probably not as aggressive in the first game, looking to play make, and hopefully our role players can make their shots. Last game against Houston, our players were really hitting their shots. I think they hit 19 threes, which was a franchise record in the playoffs, which was, it was nice to see. We were hitting shots. Well, can they bring this consistency into this series? Because we're going to need them to hit shots if we're going to, want them to, respect our shot, because all the analysts are saying the Lakers aren't a great three-point shooting team, and we're going to have to show up and do that shoot to prove them wrong, right? There's a lot of people giving Denver the benefit of the doubt, saying, they beat the Clippers and that they should watch out. But I think we'll handle them in 5, worst case scenario 6, but I don't see them winning 2 games. Maybe just 1 game, maybe, one of them, Nikola or Jamal going off, and I feel like maybe we can go cold for a game or so, and then, it'll be a close game. But this first game, I feel like we'll win by a close margin. Another story that should be taken into account, Rondo. We're looking on the injury report. LeBron's always on the injury report with a sore groin, but he always plays. It says probable, and he always plays. Dion Waiters is doubtful. Probably won't play with a sore groin as well. He got injured in the Houston series. Surprise. Someone who's on the injury report that was quite a surprise was Rajon Rondo with back spasms. Although it says questionable, the last game versus Houston, he wasn't on the injury report, because maybe you were thinking, it's like LeBron where it says sore groin and he's just gonna play, right? But no, he wasn't on there the last injury report, and back spasms are quite tricky, to be honest. You saw he missed the first playoff series with back spasms because they just they act up, and it's, I have a feeling maybe that because he ramped up things so quick, he hasn't played since March, that it's really messing with his back. But also we had a lot of rest between the last series and this series, so we'll see. It's listed as questionable, so we'll see if he plays tonight, and if he does, then no biggie. If not, then we'll have to worry if he's not going to play. And I wonder how Denver's going to defend Rondo. Are they going to respect that he's hitting 40% on his 3-point attempts this playoffs, or are they going to leave him open, and clog the paint, which is something that is worrisome, obviously, because Rondo is inconsistent at times. He can go really cold, or he can be a good shooter. But if he goes cold, then that defender can have his foot in the paint, and it really clogs up the lane. And especially if we have a big inside, like JaVale or Dwight, who can't stretch the floor at all, that's gonna really mess up the spacing. Well, hopefully, we'll see how they defend him, and then from there make adjustments, for sure. And maybe if they have to go small, they go small, right? And any other storyline, AD definitely a key in this matchup. How is he gonna defend Jokic? Is he gonna defend Jokic most of the time, or no? How are they gonna defend him? Because Jokic, he may be a star on offense, but he isn't fast-footed at all. He's pretty bad defensively. He can't even, his vertical, not that good at all. So, maybe we can get into foul trouble early on. That's something that I was thinking about. If he gets into foul trouble really early, then the Denver Nuggets, they might struggle a bit. Versus the Clippers, we saw they were getting into these big deficits, these big holes, and the Clippers, that they just didn't take advantage and keep the foot on their gas. And the Lakers do that as well. They love to take the foot off the gas pedal, like they were doing against Houston. Then Houston would come back, and then it would be a game. I have a feeling we can't take the Denver Nuggets lightly. We have to keep the foot on the gas pedal if we have a large lead, and if we don't, then it's gonna be a series, right? Especially this first game. Like, my predictions, it's gonna be a close game, high scoring game and all, very close. I think we'll beat them by a little bit today, and from there we'll make adjustments, and then they'll get one game. And just don't go up 3-1. They love being down 3-1, and they love coming back from 3-1. But even if they went down 3-1, I don't see it coming. I don't see them coming back. Imagine making history again, coming back from down 3-1, coming up and beating that team 3 times. That would be wild. But I don't see it happening. But let me know what you guys think. Drop a comment down below, and let me know what you think about this matchup. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and subscribe down below. Like the video. And if you didn't like it, obviously, drop a dislike. And tell me why, anyways, in the comments down below. Thank you. You guys have a good day.